Hello, my name is Taj Meah, and I'm a retired IBM salesperson. Spent 31 years with IBM, primarily in sales and business development. And since my retirement, I've somewhat been engaged in sales in any case, in that I am an independent contractor where I've taken on some sales training responsibilities. And I'm also an adjunct professor at one of the local universities where I also teach undergrad students sales management and salesmanship techniques. I'm speaking today basically because I'm giving a very strong endorsement to a course that I actually took several years ago entitled Awareness is Power, World-Class Selling. World-class selling, that's right, world-class selling. And the reason I say world-class selling is because when you work for a company like IBM, for example, which is an international conglomerate, we have representation in well over 200 countries in the world. And I suspect that a lot of you are working for business concerns and for agencies where you might also have that kind of presence on a global basis. So one of the key things I'd like to say that as a result of the course, which I'll talk a little bit about, it not only teaches us or makes us aware of how we might be more effective people on a local basis, but how we might actually be able to employ some of the techniques to use for customers and clients that we may deal with on a global basis as well. I mentioned the course, World Class Selling, as the course that I think benefited me tremendously, not only within my IBM career, but also in the kinds of things that I'm currently engaged in. The course, more than any other that I've been involved with in the past, and you have to imagine that with 31 years with IBM, I've taken thousands and thousands of hours of sales training over the years. But where this one particular course differs is that it gets us to think about the customer more than it teaches us about our own products and how to sell our own products. Because I've learned over the years, quite frankly, that it doesn't make it any difference how sharp we may think we are, how knowledgeable we are in our own product set. If we're not selling appropriately to our client or our customer, if we don't understand their behaviors and their buying patterns, if we don't understand their business, it's not going to make any difference whatsoever how knowledgeable we are about the products that we have to sell, because that information is primarily going to fall on deaf ears. So one of the strongest endorsements I can give for this particular course, quite frankly, is that we spend an awful lot of time helping us to understand the different kinds of customers or clients that we have out there, their behaviors. Are they people who tend to be very detail-oriented and can spend hours on end trying to understand every nuance of every product that we're trying to sell, if you will? Are they other people out there who have to have or have to see and touch and feel and have things actually demonstrated? That's a different kind of behavior. Are they people who basically just have to have a general good gut feeling about a product or about a service that we're trying to sell? Yet a different buying behavior. And because of that, it's important for any of us that are involved in sales of any kind, be it commodity or be it high-end business computer systems, be it hardware, be it software, be it some kind of service, it behooves all of us to fully understand the various kinds of clients that we're trying to market to or sell to. In understanding that, we will spend far less time in the sales cycle, and on top of which, will make better salespeople, which in the end, customers will feel is going to be very valuable to them because they will perceive us more as partners, more as people who understand their business and are trying to help them be successful versus peddlers who are just trying to sell something that we may have in our toolkit or in our sales kit. So the course has been extremely beneficial to me that way. I can tell you that as a result of some of the things that I learned in that particular course, I, who at the time was involved in federal selling, was able to very effectively better understand some of the very tough procurement people I was dealing, or with whom I was dealing in some of the agencies that I had responsibility for. And in being more effective with them, I think they felt more comfortable in assigning or, if you will, awarding business to us. And one of my largest contracts coming out of the aftermath of the class was $150 million worth of business that I gained, or that I was awarded from one agency. And I know for a fact that a part of the reason that I was awarded that business was in my gaining a much better understanding of the people with whom I was dealing with, and specifically how at the end of the day I was going to help them be successful. Even outside of the sales environment, I mentioned that I was teaching part-time at a university and that I was doing some contract work, actually doing some education overseas. Learning the techniques that I did in the world-class selling course also helped me to better understand students in my classroom, which would then translate into hopefully making me a much better educator for them. Learning some of the techniques that I did in the world-class selling course helped me understand the various people I was dealing with in some of the emerging countries and emerging markets with whom I was dealing on a contract basis, which then again made me a more effective educator. So, having said that, both in a contracting environment, a selling business development environment, and a teaching environment at the university level, I highly endorse the world-class selling course as one that I think any of us involved in selling or marketing should think very seriously about taking. Thank you.